where we are bringing life back to the industry.
Yeah, shit. It's for Nipsey, man. Yeah. West Side, Aces, Brooklyn, Fame Life, Rap School. Catch me through your city, low riding hydraulics, so violent, bouncing alpines, bumping that Biggie, ugly face, no smiling, cops profiling. They ain't got no knowledge. Wanna know who the fuck is he? Moving at a low mileage by the college, fuck class hopping, catch your footing, girl, cause I ain't stopping. Rolling up the smoke, spokes on Murder She Wrote. We rolling like mobsters, even lights can't stop us. Say to stare through they binoculars, they follow us. Hearts keep popping up, we too cool and popular. My views more ocular, my mood more opera, dramatic when I'm famous. I don't like to deal with static. Get your cable disconnected. Want the prize? Well, shit, you been selected. Brooklyn resurrected. Pull up to your illest session, sitting in the killer section. Get digested by my intestines. Send your friend a message. Hey. Yeah, but I'm just cruising down the street in my 6'4". Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Jacking the bitches, slapping the hoes. Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there, cold shoes and hook. I said cruising down the street in my 6'4". Cruising down the street in my 6. Soft top on a hard block, all black snapback, shot town, white socks, bougie with the groupies like. I don't like that type of nigga.
Welcome to episode 9 of Iron Perspective Radio. I'm your co-host, Jorel H. Whitfield.
And I am Nasi Alam, and we are the co-founders of Iron Perspective and Iron Perspective Radio. And we are here with another wonderful, amazing discussion. We have some wonderful panelists with us here today.
What is the discussion?
What is the discussion? I'm going to explain it. So we titled this episode, Don't Touch My Hair. And that's all we told the panelists about tonight's episode. So we do have some questions in mind, some conversations we want to get into, but we're going to jump right in there. First, before we do that, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourselves. So if you could just tell us your name, what you do, and why you think we brought you onto this show today.
Yes, welcome. That's how we do. Welcome.
I'll begin. My name is Alea, up here South by Her, and I make people look good. So I think you guys brought me on this show today because hair is my life, and it's probably a great perspective to share.
My name is Rochelle Hunter Mosley. I'm the owner of Salon 804. I've been in Harlem for about 30 years, and I'm a cosmetologist, trichologist. And
Trichologist.
Yes. A lot of people don't know what trichology is.
I don't know what that is.
So we're going to find out today.
We're going to find
so
out.
I think that's why y'all brought me here.
My name is Felicia Martin. Regular government employee, but I also
Can't be a regular
government employee, but also I am the CEO of Lit Karaoke, and I am also in the process of writing a book, Notes from Metropolis. And I think you guys brought me on today because you just know how I feel about my dreads and how, the strength in my hair and all of that. You know how I feel.
You know, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's what it was. Yeah. No, there's no regular government employees. You can't be regular and work for the government.
Special.
Because I have other friends, they just like, I just got a regular old government.
You have to pass some test, some sort of drug test, maybe. Anyway.
Mental test, maybe.
No. All right. So we're going to actually jump right in there. So when we thought of this episode and we named it Don't Touch My Hair, it was really based around a variety of different things, because that could mean a lot of different things depending on who you're speaking to. So I'm just going to share first about what that means to me. So growing up, it was a taboo for someone to touch your hair and tell you that it was nice, because then that meant that it's an old wives' tale in Bengali Muslim, And so they touch your hair's supposed to like not be good anymore. So the way that my mom handled this was cutting off all her hair. So I was bald until about the age of 7. So that's my bit of a hair story of what don't touch my hair means. Now I'm older and I have purple hair, which, by the way, I never thought I would have. I actually didn't think I was going to ever have purple hair until I walked into that salon and chose it. I used to also have a regular government job as well, and I knew that purple hair was not an option. When you work in corporate, when you work in certain fields, that is not something that you can do. So my question to you guys is, you ladies, what is your hair story? What does your hair mean to you? And what has been your experience throughout your life?
Well, I can start. My hair story is I grew up at a point in time where I didn't have any edges. So with me not having edges, I was very self-conscious about my hair. So I always wanted to cover my hair up. But we didn't have any money to cover my hair up. So I chose to cut my hair off. So that created a whole nother different circumstance for me at school, because I was, for one, dark skinned, I was tall, and I was bald headed.
Oh yeah, bald headed.
So, so it was really difficult for me in school, and I suffered with low self-esteem until I was in 10th grade. And probably I really didn't get past myself and my self-esteem until I was 21, really. And it was because of my hair, and it was because of my dark skin, and it was because I was tall. So, you know, when Naomi Campbell came on the map, you know, then we got cool. So I suffered for a lot of years, and I'm gonna say suffer because I was in a place where I really didn't love myself. Like, I didn't want to be here because my hair was short.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my story.
Right, that's no. Go ahead, I'm gonna jump in after.
It touches me deeply. I have a podcast called Hair Story Podcast, and I have women share their hair stories, and I'm so powerful that you brought that up, because those words come out of my mouth every week. What is your hair story? Because they're so unique in that way. But for me personally, I've been blessed. I've always felt comfortable with my hair, comfortable in my skin, just comfortable. I have good people around me to make me feel that way. But there are people around me that always haven't. And I'm creating a space where everybody is beautiful is my life now. So that is great. And just being able to see both perspectives, where there's supreme confidence and also others who aren't confident, and just connecting the bridge is like my hair story. That's where it ends. Well, that's what brings me to this point right now.
So you kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah, everybody's beautiful.
Felicia?
Well, my hair story. Well, pretty much like as a young girl growing up, I've always had like this really, I won't say yes, it was long and like extra thick. But at one point, you know, you talk about good hair, bad hair. My hair was, I guess what you want to call nappy, to the point where I would break teeth out of combs. I would break the brushes, everything. So by the age, like my mom used to have to drink to braid my hair, because it was just so much drama to do that as a kid. So by the age of 6, she had put a perm in my hair, and I pretty much had a perm in my hair for years, until I went to high school, and then I let some little girl play in my hair, and then I had to end up cutting it off. So eventually, like, I was just never the type of girl that was, and I never knew how to wrap my hair. I used to have to put those stupid sponge curlers in my hair, things like that. And my hair just would never look like everybody else's. So, and I just wasn't very hair inclined either. Like, and as a
hair
black,
inclined.
Yeah, I'm saying it right, because you know what, like.
What do you mean by hair inclined? I think I get you, but what do you mean?
Because as a black woman, that's almost like your rite of passage too, is knowing how, like, people automatically assume, like, you know how to do hair, like, you know how to braid, you know how to wrap your hair, you know how to do these things, and I never was blessed with that talent. So the I started off with the dreads being, it started started off basically, but I wanted something to mark when my mother passed. But it was also very easy for me. It's more easy for me to upkeep it, and also too, just about my heritage. This is how my hair naturally grows, and it was like I wanted to make a statement about that because of how many people just is so in awe by the fact that this is how your hair grows out of your scalp.
Right.
So and I'm very fight the power. So.
Yeah. Now, speaking of heritage, and from the story that you started off, I'll throw this back to you. Do you find a heritage in your hair, or is that story that you told about your mom cutting you guys' hairs off? Is that a personal family thing?
That's a personal family thing. My family had to intervene. They're like, you need to stop cutting this girl's head bald. Because it was a little traumatizing.
So that was a personal thing.
It's funny that Felicia, you're talking about you don't know how to do hair. So growing up, I actually grew up, when my family came to this country, I wasn't really exposed to other Bengali people. I lived in mainly black communities. And so I remember thinking something was wrong with me because everyone was always going and getting their hair done on the weekends. And I'm like, no one's washing my hair. I have to wash this shit on my own. And so I really didn't understand. I was like, okay, I'm missing something here. I don't know what's happening.
That's like a main part of perspective, right?
Yeah.
I always stop in the middle of some of our conversations to bring back why we did Iron Perspective, where we come from, and how that looks to live amongst people, because we from Queens, and
right.
we service, we talk to a lot of people from New York and Brooklyn and wherever we're from. We're like living amongst people and don't know that, like, man, what does the Bengalis think of the black women who are going to get their hair done every day, and vice versa. So I'm really excited to have this conversation in this manner, have these different women here. I'm gonna throw my perspective in too, because I got hair, you know.
Sure.
But like, what I also hear from the stories is what I've heard from a black man, from my perspective. Like, it's so there. Like, I can hear when you talk about the sponges and everything. Like, I see it, I remember it and everything. But it was always so, maybe as a man, period. But I'm gonna speak from my perspective as a black man, of like, you really didn't understand how deep it was, you know. And with everything that you guys have been through, now I ask, like, what is it that you love about your hair? Now, maybe in your years of the experience of up and down and back and forth, like, at this point, what do you love about your hair?
We can do anything with our hair. Like, your hair is resilient. Your hair it's like a canvas, a blank canvas. It can be whatever you can imagine it to be. And I love that. I feel like that's part of my heritage, to be something I can.
You see as a freedom of expression a little bit? Mm-hmm.
So I play with that daily. I have a lot of fun with that.
What I'm loving about my hair right now is that I'm very comfortable in my hair being short, which, you know, I grew up when I was growing up, and I had a I don't want to get emotional about it, but it was a thing for me with my hair being short. But now that I'm very comfortable in myself, I'm understanding that, you know, what people loved about me, I love about myself now.
Yeah.
My face. So, which I had a problem with that too. So I love my hair being short now. I love my hair being blonde now, because also when I was growing up, black girls couldn't wear blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a white thing.
Yeah.
You know, so and now all shades, all different shades of blonde, all different shades of women are wearing all.
Women you can actually get color in your hair, because I remember growing up, no matter what shade you put in, it always looked the same shade of orangey brown anyway. So like
that's all about technique. That's all about technique.
All right, I was using that box stuff, but okay. I'm like, oh, you could get purple like this, all right.
Yes, I love my hair being short now.
Okay. Felicia?
I think now like I said, I think I just kind of embrace its strength, where before I used to be like, you know, that whole stigma growing up about having good hair, bad hair, that's no such thing. This is just how your hair grows. And I think I just love the fact of what it represents. A lot of people just kind of look at dreads as like this sense of strength. And they just make a lot of, like, have an idea of what a woman is with dreads. Like, we're extra strong, we're extra opinionated. And you know what? I embrace that. I am all of those things.
What other stigmas or stereotypes do people have around people with dreads?
Oh Lord, here we
Oh
go.
Lord.
My favorite one that we all probably.
We all. Okay.
That well yeah no but that's one of the main things is that you automatically smoke marijuana. But another thing, I don't know, hopefully I'm not going off topic, but I find with men, they have like this idea that you're extra kind of like sexual, like very free or something like that. I haven't placed my finger on it, but it seems like it's like a type of fetish.
That's very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that from, not to say it wouldn't be true, of course. Lots of effects.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. On that note, I feel like I've experienced stigmas too. Like I do a lot of like protective styles, like braids, twists, and I've been doing this for years. But there was a point in time where that was like considered like not together, or you're uneducated, and like most of my clients are like in the medical field or like teachers, and it's like, and I'm happy that now it's been more embracing of like all the things we've offered for so long. But yeah, for a long time that was a big stigma, like that I didn't finish school, like I'm doing hair because I don't have an option. Like this is my passion. I'm educated and I choose this, but I get stigmatized and like boxed in as such. So it's been my experience.
As a hairstylist, do you see people getting their hair done more along trends, or is it more personal?
I think we could all agree trends play a major role. Like, oh, Megan Good has these new locks. Everybody wants these new locks. Oh, even down to like outside of like our immediate culture, if you see like Kardashians with the two braids, like everybody wants two braids or beads on their hair. Yeah, because as people, we seem to be very easily influenced on just in general, and it's unfortunate, but that's where stylists come in, because when somebody is specific on something that they see, I try to make it their own. Like, okay, but like, how can we make it look good on you so people will see you and say, I want to be like this girl and not necessarily the other. So we gotta be like integral with our work.
So don't feel bad if you chasing trends, guys. Yeah, we all doing it.
And a lot of people want to look like something that they're not. You know, they come in there. I have a lot of clients that they come in with pictures. They come in with pictures of white women and they're black, and you're clearly black. So I was like, can you do this style on me? Yeah, I could do it the black way, but you can't have it the white way.
Yeah.
And they're always, because the thing is that they want to look like that person, which we are beauticians, not magicians.
Right. Make me look like Harry.
Beauticians. This is how your beauticians talk about you when you leave. This girl thought I was a goddamn wizard. I don't know what she wanted.
So up until recently, California just became the first state to ban discrimination against natural hair. So even as we're speaking about what kind of styles people had stereotypes against, how they hold you, really, I mean, even in most states now, we're not protected by what kind of hairstyles we choose to wear. You can get fired from your jobs based on your hairstyle. You can get kicked out of school and not be able to attend certain events. There's been a lot of children recently, you hear in the news, they don't know what to go to prom because they have dreads on, or whatever, they don't get to play something or partake. What would you say is the relevance between how the government seeks to control us and the stereotypes that have been perpetuated?
Well, I think that they will go far to keep us out of certain places. And if we're smart enough and and we're educated enough, they have to find a way to keep us out. So it's like, okay, because your hair is like that, you can't come in, or because you wearing a ponytail, you wearing braids, you wearing this. They're just looking for a reason to count us out. And now, state by state, we're gonna get our way, like we always do. Like we always do.
I think I'm just mad that we even have to have a law though for this.
Right.
Like that just bothers me so much, because based off of like, okay, what exactly is the issue with dreads? You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's intimidating.
Exactly.
It's intimidating.
But intimidating based off of what? It's the hair that's growing out of my scalp.
Right.
So it's a lot of it just to me just kind of comes down to people not choosing to understand and research. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like,
That's a powerful word, intimidating. You ladies have 3 different styles of hair going on. Have you experienced yourself, like, your ownership as intimidating to other people, other women, other men?
I say other races. You know, I mean, working in the government or whatever, like in the department that I work in is myself and another black woman with dreads, and you can just see the difference on how our upper management sometimes would interact with us as opposed to other people there, because I don't know, I guess they kind of, the intimidation. That's it. Like, you know, the strength. It's almost like, oh my God.
Right,
Sometimes, like, if you speak your mind, it's almost to the point where I feel like you about to call security to drag me out.
Like y'all locked
So, exactly. Like, you know, you automatically have, like, this stigma of who people believe that you are. Like, you know, it's not just about you being a strong black woman. You're this strong, angry black woman. Sometimes I understand, you know? So.
I don't think that our women are intimidated by us. I feel like they're more envious sometimes.
Yeah.
Or curious, maybe.
Huh?
Curious?
Oh and curious. Like, how can she do that? Like, oh, why would she do that? And how did she even think of that? You know, they're really curious about it, and then they're envious because it's something that they would want to do, but it's because of the husband or the kids or the friends or this and that saying not to do it. You know, and it holds them back.
As I'm seeing, or you see other races starting, I guess we could touch on appropriation in that sense. Do you feel like, how do you feel about appropriation? Do you think? Go ahead.
No, so in terms of, since you just said opinion, you want to say? Perspective.
No, it's, opinions are great. Opinions are great. Perspective is great as well. We've just been really hammering through why we do perspective. What is the difference between a perspective and an opinion, right? And I think most people, they really want to share their perspectives, but we get locked into opinions. We don't really know that, or we don't hear that opinions really puts us on the side of judgment. Of like, I feel this way, and that's what it is, you know? So it's not right or wrong, and that's the other thing too. I'm not schooling you or anything. It's not definitely a right or wrong, but when opinion comes up, we think about it, like, damn, what is the difference? But you are entitled to your opinion, for sure.
Well, from my perspective, and this is based off of like a culmination of things. So for a long time, I didn't do white people's hair. I was just like, this is ours. Sorry, that's all it was. But then it got to a point for me where like I thought about it, and forgive me if I'm offending anyone. I was like, if I was white, I would be culture appropriated too. I would have I'll be dating a black man. I'm like, what you want me to do? Like,
What you want me to do?
This is a great experience. Like, to be a black woman, like, I want to be tone tan and like having a black man. Like, why would I do that? Or like, you know, a brown man. Like, that's something I feel like I would do. I'm not a white woman, so I can't say that for sure. Like, if I was restart again on some of the Good Place thing, if that would be that. But from where I stand right now, I feel like I would want it. This is a beautiful. This goes back to like us being like people being followers in a lot of ways. Like we set most of the trends. Everything that's pretty much out right now is kind of in our backyard somewhere. You know what I mean? We ain't even playing with it no more. So this is how it is, and I feel like so now I do white people's hair, and as long as they don't say anything weird to me, like, hey, I'm not trying to culture appropriate, but or they deserve to have their hair done. Like, have braids. This is a great protective style. Like, I'm not thinking about it like that, but if that's like where your angle is, I've had a woman approach me and say, hey, I'm doing an experiment, a social experiment, and I want to do this. I'm like, we're not experimenting. We ain't no mad scientists over here. Like, that's not what we're doing. But if you genuinely just want to have a protective style because you wanted to beach and you don't want to wash your hair often and you want to just have something simple to go, wash. I don't know how to take that away from you. It doesn't offend me. It doesn't take away from who I am as a black woman. I'm fine with that. But a lot of people, they have dragged me under the bus for that.
I think the problem that I have with it is not that they want to do it. It's just the fact of how they will change it and make it seem like they were the ones that invented it. That's my problem with it. It's not, listen, what did they say? And I'm probably saying it wrong, but copying is the best form of flattery, or imitation is the best form of flattery, right? So I don't have any problem with you wanting to look like me. even though you want to look like me and don't want to deal with the problems that we have. But at the same time, you're not gonna sit up there and tell me a do-rag now is a satin hair handkerchief. Like, you're not gonna tell me that. I've been rocking a do-rag, or we've been rocking a do-rag since the beginning. Yeah, some satin hair handkerchiefs. So what were they calling them? Box braids, boxer braids, and now they're in cosmopolitan. Where, as you stated earlier, when we were doing it, that means you ghetto, you whatever. But now it's because Khloe Kardashian is doing it. Now we have it all in Cosmo and Vogue and everything else. Like, that's my problem with it. Don't take it now and try to make it your own as if we never existed in the equation.
Right.
So, on the topic of cultural appropriation and borrowing things from other cultures, something that, I was born and raised in this country, so I think there's certain privileges that I have and things that I never had to think about growing up. But one of my dear friends recently, she's from Singapore, and she recently brought up something to me around the topic of hair. And she said, do you know how weaves and wigs are made? And do you think it's right for people to, partake and buy wigs and weaves? And so, in some processes, they literally pull the hair out of people's heads to make these. Or there are certain countries where women are very vulnerable, and it's taken by force. It's not like, I'm just going to go and I got to cut off about 11 inches because my hair is getting too long. How do you guys feel about that information?
Honestly, I feel like it's not enough women in Brazil for the supply that we need in the United States.
Yeah.
So they are processing his hair.
Somewhere.
Like, all his hair ain't not coming off straight off
Right.
people's heads. So they're coming from somewhere else.
Because there's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair. Yeah.
And hair just gets discarded.
I'm not gonna sit here and believe that they're literally shaving hair off of people's heads to create all of this the supply.
Right.
The United
Supply.
States needs. So I haven't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really done my research as far as how women are suffering in other countries because of their hair. But I do know that the manufacturing of this hair is not coming from being able to supply the United States. It's not coming from just those women.
I just how I personally feel hearing that story. Like, I know that some women, like, they think it's a religious thing and they go to these wells, and I've seen documentaries about that, and that's manipulation, and that's not right. So I don't feel comfortable with that. Weaves is not a big part of what I do. It's like not part of what I do. Like, I used to work with synthetic hair and blend hair, but that's just me, and it's not for those reasons. But yeah, it's something that you might want to consider, like, what your moral value is if you do work with this hair. You want to know more about that. So you just raise some awareness for me that, and some concerns. So, but and then I never thought of, like, really is the demand, like, there is it's like the meat. Like,
where is all this hair coming from? What is it?
It's not really Brazilian. It's not really Moroccan.
Right.
It's not really all of these different names that they're calling this hair. It's impossible to our supply.
Right.
Our supply is.
Right.
Out
I
of
actually
this
just
world.
also recently just saw an article that I guess a lot of this hair also comes from China.
Yeah.
And so now there's this fear of this hair being contaminated. And so I don't know how that looks here.
Corona
hair. We're going to look back at this episode like, oh, shit, she was right.
Corona hair.
I mean, I don't know. For some reason, when you told that story, which I've, as a matter of fact, I think they actually touched on that a little bit when Chris Rock did his documentary a while ago about, it was called Good Hair, right? Yeah. For some reason, for me though, blood diamonds automatically came to mind when you started talking about that, because no, it doesn't supply all of the United States, but then you have people like Nicki Minaj that's going and spending $50,000 for a weave, and that in that particular case where they are actually going and shaving these people's heads, and then I'm like, right, this I mean that kind of like bothers me. These are the people that are representing, the culture, and we know what our struggle is, so to sit there and know that you are adding to somebody else's struggle, to me, it just doesn't sit so well. You know.
How do you feel about the representation of black women now, as far as what you see? You know, let's keep it on the hair base, because you know it can go varied for the whole question. But as far as Nicki Minaj spending 50 bands on a on a weave, or what maybe a certain demographic of women are looking like, or however it looks to you.
Right now, I feel like everybody out like in that type of industry is all cookie cutter. You know, you have to look a certain way in order for you to kind of like make it. Which unfortunately, it's like a mixture of the overly enhanced black woman with a side of white woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate it.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Is it just to put it for the record? Is it any average black women that like you know or even come in contact with? Like,
spending 50 bands on?
No, not even like that. But what that image is, because I guess what I'm asking is in the sense of if Nicki Minaj is what many people see black women as, is like, is that what you see as black women?
Absolutely not. No.
That's the minority. I see it.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot because with the lace fronts, the butts, and the breasts, and the teeth, and the lips. Like, it's a lot.
Right.
Like, what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna, like, when you're like 50, what are you gonna look like? Like, these girls are 20 and 30 years old.
Right.
So when they're 50, now I'm telling you, I have clients that coming in my salon right now, and I'm complaining about not having edges. Wait, I mean, I'm on a hair panel and I got a hat on.
I was like, that's extra player. Like, I was gonna let you live the whole time.
And I'm like, let me just be authentic in what I'm saying and what I'm doing. But it's terrible that they're subjecting their bodies to so much trauma.
Right.
It's a lot. I mean, they're coming in the salon with pillows. They can't sit down because the asses got to be a certain way. And I'm talking about it's going on for like 6 weeks. You wouldn't know they had a baby.
Right.
You know, 6 weeks, 2, 3, 4 months, they still sitting on the pillow. They lips injected.
So,
Nobody have no edges. Nobody have no edges because of the lace fronts.
Right.
I don't personally, I didn't subscribe to that. I don't do lace fronts. I don't do anything with glue. I don't do no pulling, none of that. I don't do any of that.
Self-image comes up a lot, right? Even as we're talking about hair, all the other surgeries that women are getting nowadays. Hair represents, to me, my perspective, it represents change and also transformation, right? I think the way that women have their hair, the way they decide to change their hair is usually, associated with a shift in their life. What does it represent to you? And how do you think your image or your hair plays into that?
My hair personally, or what I do.
And what you do, you can incorporate it into.
Well, I decided that I'm going to be honest. I mean, I've been doing hair for 30 years now. And I decided that I'm going to be honest with people and I'm going to give them the real about what's happening. And even with the dreadlocks, I love dreadlocks. However, when I have my older clients that's been wearing dreadlocks for 30 and 40 years, it's a lot of trauma on their scalps. It's a lot of trauma. So I try to give everybody the real. I love the dreads, but it really starts to bring that scalp in, and it starts to look like kind of like what your brain looks like inside is what the scalp starts to look like in the middle because of the weight. So then we gotta deal with that. So in my 30 years, when I started off, I was doing everything. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing everything. But over the past 15 years, I really started to be honest with people. And being, really being authentic with people and letting them know the real about the color, about the dreads, about the weaves, and how they need to, pull back and pick something different.
Okay.
Yeah. Quickly, I would add to body to image. I feel like people want to be beautiful. There's a lot of pressure to look good.
Right.
People are making careers out of looking good. So I can't fault the woman who's sitting on the pillow because that's how she's providing for her family. I don't know if there are other means for her to do so. I know her capacity of her brain and her resources. But we can't assume that everybody is like us. So I try like not to judge them too much. I keep it real with my clients. You know what I mean? If I want them to be healthy, I want them to be happy, I want them to live a long time. But I don't want them to need me forever. Like my job is to get you to a place where you don't need a weave no more. You don't need your hair is growing, it's healthy. Like I want to. That's why my hair company is Butterfly Braids. I want to let you go. You don't need me forever. I think hair, and I try to stress this, like it's just hair.
Man.
Like I do this for fun. I don't have to do it. You know what I mean? If I take all my hair off, I'm very motivated when you took your hair off. Oh, should I just take my braids out to be like hair?
I can't front. You know, we talk about perception. I just knew you was gonna be so serious about your hair because it's flat, and I know you put a lot of effort into it.
Just like,
yeah.
I mean, not for nothing, but like you can't go to a hairstylist and their hair not be.
No,
I mean, you could.
Normally,
I wouldn't go to a
hairstylist hair is not done.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You have no time.
You're busy.
Normally, a hairstyle, so you cannot go by that.
Your joint is fly.
Now,
somebody's like,
what you want to go by is
Okay.
that you don't want to go in an empty salon.
Mm.
You don't want to, every time you go, it's empty.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's
Got it.
the real big
So
problem.
it gotta be busy and packed.
Of
I'm like,
course.
oh, okay, that's a place to go.
Of course, we manifest you guys into salon. Wake up every morning, the book is packed. You manifest this, and it just happens.
That's a whole different conversation of magic.
So we're about to take a short break, and then we're gonna return to this conversation in just a few moments.
WEMS Radio, where we are bringing light back to the industry.
Love my drip, nigga. I keep it spinning on them. I keep it spinning on them. Whole lot of money, whole lot of jewelry, lot of drip, lot of women on them. Yeah, they watch how I'm spinning on them. They like how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never give me nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them. Spinning shit that I'm spending on them. Fake bitches to official form. Catch a fit when I dig and dodge them. I'm a Brooklyn nigga, got bigger problems. Jiggin' said it's big pimping on them. Never love a trick, ever trust a bitch. I just fuck 'em quick and then I duck the bitch. Just in case I feel the rubber grip. I'm in the club tripping. Ain't single thing that I bought custom. Open up the door, let the jaw I'm coming. Spinning this not taking off nothing. Beehive used to have a swarm coming. Category 5 got a storm coming. Once I'm in the city, see the halls rushing. I get the pussy wet, leave the drawers flooding. All the big hitters on the strip know me. All the young spinners gonna be big homie. Niggas get the trippin', it's a grip on me. When I'm in the bricks, have a split for me. Real high nigga, keep a zip on me. 720 waves, got your bitch on me. I mac these bitties like Denzel. Nigga, King Combs ain't got shit on me. I keep it spinning on them. I keep it spinning on them. Whole lot of money, whole lot of jewelry, lot of drip, lot of women on them. They watch how I'm spinning on them. They like how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never get me, nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never get me, nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never get me, nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them. Feeling like Goldie, rims pokey, watch closely. Throw the MCM frames on, watch all these bitches post me. Got shit starting, busting licks with the pigs knocking, split sparking with the whip parking at the Ritz Carlton. Hulk stroking, hoes from Hoboken. Dope poking, low blowing on yacht parties, showboating. Aki diamonds on her, looking swole with the gold on me. Cityscapes, getting table dances with the pole on me. OT on the road, living up to that God image. A single car rented gets sent back to God Center. Got the right appeal, plus everything that I write is real. The waves is on spin, niggas think I signed a title deal. I keep it spinning on them. I keep it spinning on them. Whole lot of money, whole lot of jewelry, lot of drip, lot of women on them. They watch how I'm spinning on them. They like how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never get me, nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never get me, nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them. Whipping through the city, 12 and never get me, nigga. Watch how I'm spinning on them.
Have faith, these little Kim Sugar. This is storm, nigga. Drip, drip, wet, wet. Drip, drip, wet, wet. Drip, drip, wet, wet. Drip, drip, splish, splash, splish, splish. Ooh, I got that drip, drip. Splish, splash, splish, splish. Ooh, I got that drip, drip. Welcome, welcome to my water park. You and me, only put it on me at the dark. This thing moist, ain't no way that it's Avatar. He said it's sweet, so he called that 90 Pop-Tart. Hat before he slip and slide, he gon' pay for this right. Buckle up, it's a storm inside. I don't think you can handle these tides, cause I'm way too wavy. This shit too crazy, he know to fall in line if he ever play me. Why? This cookie tasty, it's so yum, 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 yum. I'ma milk him for everything, he too dumb, 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 dumb. I'ma slide up on his nose, 69 up on his gums. Ain't no way he gon' run, I won't stop until that splash come. Drip, drip, ha, ha, what, what? Drip, drip, ha, ha, what, what? Drip, drip, what, what? Drip, drip. Splish, splash,
Yeah.
splish, splish, splish. Ooh, I got that drip, drip. Splish, splash,
Yeah.
splish, splish. Ooh, I got that drip, drip.
Desi with me and that Desi with me. Got 2 girls out of magic situation, hella tricky. Hotline jumping like Pretty Ricky. Pretty nigga got him drippy, drippy. Bitch think she know me cause she read my wiki. Call me Big Papa, that's word to Biggie. Take a bitch nigga, it was no biggie. Have fake these little Kim Striggy. They chat lies and the bad vibes. That splash, splash, dove in the waters. Came out that shit like I was baptized. Yeah, off that Cali, yeah. Cream, I'm styling, yeah. I just got a LA bitch, she look like Kylie, yeah. But she rowdy, yeah. See, I really care, but shorty sexy, yeah. But her new prezi, yeah. I change my zip code once a week, case shit get messy, yeah. I don't trust shit, though I love the bitch. She gon' meet the grip. Touch my money, dollars on your door like Richie Rich. That
Drip, drip, ha, ha, what, what? Drip, drip, ha, ha, what, what? Drip, drip, what, what? Drip, drip. Splish, splash.
I just got a LA bitch, she look like Kylie, yeah. But she rowdy.
Welcome back to episode 9. Don't touch my hair. Of Iron Perspective Radio. We've been having a phenomenal conversation about hair, what hair looks like, how it feels, the journey of hair with our esteemed panelists, guests?
Yes,
Oh,
special guest.
all of that. Special guests.
Yes.
We were touching a bit about cultural appropriation and what it looks like from our mega stars and what black women are represented. As a black man, we have a lot of conversations about this, believe it or not. Yeah, man. We're gonna get black men up here more. No, but we got some fellas in the room as well. But yes, black men are talking. We always talk. We talk a lot. A lot more than people think. And it's a very interesting conversation about what it looks like now for the women that we're attracting, that are out here, that who's the representation. My buddy said this to me. He was like, man, I wonder if these young kids are gonna grow up knowing what a real black woman looks like. And that was a wild ass thing to be said, but I understood at least where he was coming from, how most of these kids are consuming images from social media, from a made up world, you know. And that was just kind of I don't really have a question for that. I was just thinking about how that looks.
So I have a question around how hair looks in relationships, right? So as you just mentioned, men also have hair. We're not the only ones with hair.
They do? No.
Sometimes. So my father, he had a whole head full of hair, longer than mine, thick, growing up, and then now he's on the bald end of things. And I've seen the process with him and how he was trying really hard to maintain what little of his hair that he could possibly have. So any men in this room, if you guys are bald or anything, you can feel free to chime in. And it's not something that just men deal with as well as bald.
No, we've made this, even on the flyer or how we promote the show, this wasn't a woman exclusive conversation. We just knew we were going to have all women on the panel. But as well as us talking about women, we of course talk about how we look and what we think and joke on each other. And, oh my God, as soon as a dude start losing a snippet of the hairline, it's over.
Yep.
Go boy. Like young too. Oh man,
Just shave it off.
That's your first line of pride is your hairline. You know, once this shit start dipping, like my joint is all in the dips, man. Like, oh boy.
You still have a little bit of hair.
Yeah, this has been. I haven't cut my hair in 2 years, right? I grew up getting my hair cut like every 2-3 weeks, lineups, and you don't really get how subconsciously your pride and all your gusto is tied into this haircut, you know?
Welcome
And
to our world.
yeah, that's what I mean. We've been living.
So everyone
in it
has a hair
parallel.
perspective,
Yeah.
right? It's not just something that women deal with, men deal with it as well. You
Yeah,
can
and
just, like, pride
on a
in it.
different spectrum, like I'm saying earlier, I couldn't really get how women felt it, but like we definitely got it as well. And then with it being with us tied so heavy to the pride, and once that starts to slip, it's like with a woman, okay, maybe you got short hair, your hair's nappy, but you could throw something in there. You can gel it out, you can perm it out, weave it out, wig it out. It should start fading for a dude. Hats and fitteds.
Can I add, like, if you have like the proper budget, because it's pretty expensive, it's still fairly new. They have units for men too.
Yes,
They have
we do
procedures. You
see.
Talk
Talk on
on. Combing them out.
Oh, he's
Oh,
Would any of you men in this room be interested in that product?
And even before that, like,
Y'all not on camera.
We're not gonna answer another what? No, we're not part of this.
If it makes you feel insecure and you want to do something about it, I don't see it any different as like putting on earrings or like.
But hair
I don't know,
is an
that's
accessory
attached.
now.
Yeah.
It's like
Hair
it's not like
is an
it used to be.
accessory.
It's an accessory.
Okay.
But don't let
Take
that
it
be
off.
your identity, like.
Right.
Because if
Yeah.
God forbid some water come and wash it away, or like in an instant that you could lose those things, they can't absorb who you are. Even as a man, if your hair goes away, you still got to be content. You're still a man. You're still a strong, powerful man. That
Yeah,
doesn't
I
change.
hear that, man. I don't know though. Any fellas? I'm no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone.
Well,
But I want y'all to know
Any
that.
fellas with the
I would say this. If I'm losing my hair going gray, I'm going to just let it go.
Just let it
Hey,
go.
there's no reason for me to dye my hair. There's no reason for me to attempt to keep it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I just cut it all off. It's all good. And the women tend to like the gray hair. So
Yes, gray
I'm
hair
with
men
it.
can be sexy,
Alright.
actually.
I'm with it.
So no rag tops for prop.
Nah.
If you're gonna shave your head bald, you have to have a round head though.
Damn, you gotta see now. You got hair
But that's all about
requirements.
perspective too.
Jeez,
Right.
It's all about
Louise, you
perspective.
can't have
Now,
a bean
what I- you
You gotta
head.
have
You
the
can't.
confidence.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
care what you
confidence.
got. You got a little
Confidence.
dent right here. You better make
But
it-
that's
make it feel
why
like it ain't there.
LL wore
But
hats.
we cool. We have-
LL
we feel
wore
good.
hats for a long time.
Oh,
And he got the little cone head thing going on.
I got a
Like,
story
for
about
real,
him.
for real. Like,
I met LL Cool J when I was 12 years old, outside of the library, because he's from Queens, New York, Palace. And so me and my sisters, we were waiting outside for his book, and at that time he was really about his hat. Like, he would not show his head. It's a different story now. It's changed. But my sister, she was like, "Yo, let me get your hat. Let me just get your hat." And he's just like, "No, no." He was like polite about it. But he was like, "No." And it was just it was the funniest thing to me because he was so like.
LL gonna give his one hat. Like, he don't got a
It wasn't like them stocking beanie things that he. or like-
No, he actually had a baseball cap on that
Nobody
day.
saw that as insecurity though.
At
You
that
know,
time,
LL,
Because nobody really knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew his name.
LL Cool J is one of the perennial most confident black men growing up. Like, damn, this dude got muscles. He's raps. He get women and
Lick his lips more than
couldn't,
anybody else.
you know what I mean? Couldn't take that fitted off though.
I mean,
but
it's different
Hollywood
now.
money changed that. Hollywood money changed it.
Yeah,
right.
That is the paper. You get enough checks, you be like, you know what? That's the thing.
I don't need this.
And it's normalized to get like procedures now. Like fix it. You don't like it, fix it. You fix your teeth. If they crooked and you don't like them, like who cares? Honestly.
Do you, as stylists, see procedures like all the time?
All the time. All the time. Every day.
People have asked me if I think they should get procedures. People have recommended that I should to enhance my business. And it's just like, I don't know. It's not for me. But I'm not mad at people. You don't know what somebody's insecurity levels are. People be suicidal. People be hurting. Like, people told you were ugly. People told you were not for years, your whole life.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
who am I to tell you that you can't fix that?
Yeah.
Nobody. Like, if it makes you feel good, but just know the dangers that come along with every single procedure from anything.
And just to piggyback on that, to back to opinions and perspective, right? You're coming from a space as a stylist of like, yo, I just see the perspective of it. Whereas somebody in their opinion again is like, yo, I think you're wrong for this, and now I can't get with you. I can't do your hair because like I'm rooted in what I believe. I believe that you're wrong, but I don't know anything about your life. I don't know anything about your
You
hurt.
mentioned your perspective shifted because you did kind of feel that way a little bit with white women doing braids, and then you shifted your perspective, and now it's like, all right, they paying, right?
Yeah, we got this documentary coming up.
You know, I learned very early that hair is not a race; it's a texture. It's just certain things that I would use on your hair that I wouldn't use on her hair. You know, so if you approach hair in that way, I think it changes your mind about it really changes your perspective. Really, when you not look at it as a race, like as a white woman, it's just that her texture is just different from her texture. Now, it is different when you feel like they want what we got. That's another thing. But look, if you was white, you would want what we got too.
I would do it. I'm telling you.
I get it. You got the sauce, so I get it too.
It's dope though. It's dope. Like I see a lot of black women, and I'm just like, you know, I just be in awe sometimes at some of the stuff. You know, at some of the stuff. Yeah.
I get inspired like all the time. Like,
So Rochelle, you have some history in the hair industry, and I don't think you've given yourself enough credit here on the show on how groundbreaking you have really been. So if you don't mind, I could share it or you could share it. Huh?
You can share.
You want me to share it? Well, okay, I don't have all the exact details, so you can definitely fill it in. But, you know, Rochelle, from reading your bio, you came from the projects, right? And then you went into the modeling industry.
Yes.
And at that time, as you mentioned, you know, dark-skinned black women were not necessarily a thing, right? And so one of your accomplishments was being the first black woman, or is that am I correct?
Well,
one of the first black women to grace the cover of Dark and Lovely, right? So if you want to just share a little bit more about that. I'm giving such bad details right here.
All the time, so she was in my house.
Everybody has.
Everybody has. Like, that's where the light bulb. Like, oh shit, you do that for
Well, when I came to New York, that was one of my things. I wanted to be a board, and I wanted to be on a Dark and Lovely box. Yeah. I wanted to be on a Dark and Lovely. And when I was looking at Dark and Lovely box, I'm thinking they really mean like dark skin and lovely, you know. But it wasn't a lot of really dark girls my complexion on a Dark and Lovely box. So it was my goal to get on there, and I was on the box. Actually, me and Nia Long was on the Relaxer box together, and then I did the color
on the
box.
Relaxer box.
And then I went on the,
That's
also
my childhood.
The Revlon box, and then I went on to do Essence 25th anniversary poster. So it was a lot of things that was coming my way, and it was because of the groundbreaking stuff that Tyson was doing. Me and Tyson Beckford worked together also, and the groundbreaking stuff that Naomi Campbell did. And then we had Iman. But nobody was checking for us before that.
And then we had Rochelle.
But, you know, I had to really find my market because I wasn't a runway girl. They called us beauty girls, you know, and that was our thing, to sell hair products, to sell skincare, to sell toiletries. That was our thing. So I didn't even know it was a thing to be a beauty girl because I thought I was to come to New York and be on the runway. I thought that was all it was. So once I learned about commercials and, you know, the commercial part of it and the catalog part of it, it opened up a whole nother realm for me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I would look at those boxes and be like, well, this one was just a little silkier, a little shinier. Like this. Just a little silkier. My wouldn't hit like that. And I should be burning my hair off.
And actually,
a little longer.
Actually, that was my real hair on that box. It was my real hair.
Couldn't get it.
So Felicia,
Yes, ma'am.
for someone that's in the 9-to-5 world, unfortunately, however, what's something that you could take away from this conversation, or something that you can offer to our listeners today about what it looks like to actually just be free and wear your hair however it is that you want to, and walk in it powerfully?
Oh wow. Oh. That's a deep question. I see.
You guys didn't see my meme?
What can I take away from today? I mean, I don't know. I'm just, for me, naturally, I'm a rebel without a cause. So, for me, it's easy for me to just do this and not care what anybody else has to say. I just say, stay strong in who you are. Know your history, know your culture. And if anybody try to come at you like that, school them. I mean, I had a not even just in a 9-to-5 situation, but I had a situation where it was a white woman, it was white woman and white man from a whole other country when I was at a conference for work that saw my hair and was just in such awe about it that they wanted to touch it, which is why this was the topic was wow. And to be honest with you, I let them. And I feel like the difference was that I didn't think they were necessarily coming from that American stance on it, where it's kind of on a disrespect. Right. But I will tell you that I still felt violated to a certain extent. Yeah. But the bottom line is just being open to schooling people about what it is when they have these these ideas of what dreads are, whatever. Make sure you let them know, it's not just about you. Some people have an idea of you being a criminal, whatever. That's not what it is. This is about people and that have political views and So yeah.
Well, thank you, women.
Yeah,
thank you, women, for sharing with us today. This is our first episode of Women's History Month, and so the reason we chose this specific topic is because hair is something that not only affects Black women, but all women and men. We're all more or less born with it, for the most part. And so we really wanted to share that perspective can really look so many different ways. I think when some people heard about the topic of hair, they're like, what does that look like? But there's actually a lot of conversations. There were things that we didn't get into today. We could definitely always get deeper. Just a quick note for those of you who are listening in. We are also celebrating Women's History Month all month long, ending off with our 2020 first annual Women's Conference on March 28th.
Yes, that's going to be March 28th, that's Saturday. Early bird tickets are on sale right now at ironperspective.com. We are going to have panelists, we have breakout specials, it's going to be a dope event, 10 to 4, Saturday the 28th. And we're here next week with
Success After Prison with Miss Lucinda Cross of the Big Ask Live, and she's also going to be a great panelist. If you guys could just tell us a little bit, we have about a minute each, what you want us to leave us with, something that you learned, what's a new perspective that you learned today during this conversation, or a perspective that you want to share with us, and anywhere we can follow you and support you.
Something I learned today was that it is okay to be who you are, where you are, and embrace others at the same time. We are all different, and I feel so comfortable just being around everybody here that it makes me feel really powerful at the same time. So don't let anybody else's shine, nobody else's shine condemn your light. You're amazing, and we can all be powerful and continue to embrace and uplift each other, especially going forward with Women's History Month. My name is Alea. You can find me at hairstylebyher.com and check out Hair Story Podcast, streaming on all platforms.
Yes.
What I want to leave you with is don't treat people differently. However, treat them accordingly. And in order to treat them accordingly, you have to treat them different. It really is, because whereas you won't want to, treat everybody the same, but then you can't treat everybody. You can't give everybody the same treatment, because everybody don't deserve the same treatment, especially as far as being in your cipher. You have to be very careful of who you let in.
And where can we follow you?
On Instagram, Rochelle H. Mosley. Twitter, Ask Rochelle. And Facebook, Rochelle H. Mosley.
I guess actually your story. I think I loved your story. Very powerful, and I love the idea of how you took something that could have been negative growing up and things like that and made it into this whole big thing, and that's just very inspirational. So I just wanted you to know that.
Appreciate it.
And I mean just keep going regardless of whatever, you know what I'm saying? I guess just piggyback off of that, be who you are and stand strong in that. Where can you follow me? You can follow me on IG at FeliciaN28, lit_karaoke. And that's it.
All right.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for bringing this episode in with us. Thank you, Nussie. Thank you, me. Thank you, me.
Yeah.
That is the wrap for episode 9. Next on WEMS Radio, we have Speak It Into Existence with May I Speak. Tune in for that. Next week, we are here Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, WEMSradio.com. I'm Perspective Radio. Out.
Yeah.
It's for anybody tryna bring war to me. Tell them to get off of me. By my dolly how I'm supposed to be. Cause nobody ever. This for anybody tryna bring war to me. Tell them to get off of me. By my dolly how I'm supposed to be. Cause nobody ever fought for me. This for anybody tryna bring war to me. I'm prepared for the casualties. No, I don't know why you calling me. So they better get up off of me. This for anybody praying on my downfall. Cause they wanna see me lose. Cause they wanna see me snooze. Front page paper or the news. Crackers wanna see me on the news. My ex wanna see me with the head. So-called bros hate the way I live. I never did understand all this fake-ish. I used to try to escape-ish. Now when I see a clown, I rise up like Pennywise and embrace it. Look in my eyes, I ain't blanking. Willis, what you talking, what you thinking? I see you watching my formula crusty crab in the barrel, you plankton. What do you see in my eyes? You think I'm a fraud or a hoe in disguise? You think when I said that I did it, I lied? When you heard me rap, you said it wasn't mine? Just cause you bad, wow, challenge doing like don't mean you could challenge mine. Give me my respect, I had to grind. It goes like this, so my old friends jump shit. Then my new ones came aboard. Then my ex tried to jump shit, but before she did, I threw her overboard. It's a cycle that made me psycho. When you go to war, people that was supposed to be your light post. Well, I'm George with it. This for anybody tryna bring war to me.